Hey, what's up? What's up? Joe in Vegas back with another review. Carlos Santana. Carlos fucking Santana, man. The dude's a legend. Okay, let me backspace. I saw him probably 7-8 years ago when he first started his residency here in Vegas. I remember not really liking the show that much. I appreciated him. I appreciate who he is, his history. I just remember not really loving the show. When it comes to jam bands or bands that have these long instrumental songs, you know, one after the other, I respect it. I enjoy it. It's music in its purest form. I just, to sit for 2 hours, it's too much. Like, I need lyrics. And I kind of remember back then, it was a very heavy instrumental show at the one that I saw. And I remember thinking, this is good, but I got it after an hour. Didn't need 2 hours of that. Again, it could have been a million reasons why I didn't like the show. I could have lost at the tables before. I don't know. But I remember not liking it and never really had a desire to go back. There was nothing going on this weekend. Everything that's here I kind of saw, or like Garth Brooks had his new residency. I'm not going to pay $900 a ticket times two. $2,000 a ticket for a night for two people is just not worth it right now. So I was eyeballing Santana. I wasn't feeling well. I didn't even know if I was going to go out that night. And I started looking at tickets the day or two before, and they were really expensive. I was really shocked. I think everything now is expensive. The days of cheap concerts, unless you get lucky, like I did this night, are really gone. If you're just going to go to Ticketmaster or Access and buy tickets, every fucking show is going to be really expensive because people are paying, so they're going to charge. Supply and demand 101. So Ticketmaster, I hate this venue. This House of Blues venue has got to be one of the worst in Vegas. Just the layout of it. It's really small. You go down into this dark pit of like claustrophobia and bad circulation or air circulation. The GA sucks. There's these 4 pillars all over there's big pillars that you can't see through. So you can either pack into the GA on the floor or you can find a spot around the bar. But again, you have to be in a certain spot. Otherwise, this big pillar is blocking the stage. I don't like this venue. So I kind of promised myself years ago, if I ever go back to this venue, I'm going to buy a table seat because it's a big difference and it's worth the money. But the Santana table seats were going for over $400 a piece, so fuck that. That didn't happen. They never came down. I was shocked watching the tickets how expensive they were. The GAs were $150. Seats above were all sold out. Things were $250, $300. I don't remember this show being that expensive, but like I said, everything's expensive. Long story short, I waited to the last minute. I looked on OfferUp probably about an hour before the show, and someone had posted 3 general admission tickets for $75. I emailed them. I said, would you take $50 a ticket? He said, done deal, because it was last minute. So I ended up getting a GA tickets for $50, which was pretty good. So I was happy with that. Done. Ran over there, got to the show. He goes on about 8:15. There's no opener. Down into the pits of darkness. Found a good spot. I got lucky by the bar, and he started the show. So it was, let me see. I'm trying to find the set list. Nobody posted the set list, so this is going to be kind of a mess for me. But let me start with Carlos. Carlos is a cultural icon. He is one of those artists that it's more than just artistry. He represents a culture. He is the sound of a culture. He is the Mount Rushmore of that Latino rock, that sound with the maracas and the guitar and the electric and he has this following that's been with him since, I'm pretty sure he was at Woodstock, goes back that far. He created that sound. When you hear a song, it's pretty much, I think that's Santana. You could tell it's him, and that's unique. And that doesn't happen that much anymore. And he has taken that sound and rid this whole career off of it. And it's awesome. And God bless him for that. So I'm looking here. All the set lists are different. Now, the first 5 or 6 songs seem to be the same. So let me start with that. It starts with Soul Sacrifice, Jingo Loba. And then this is really rare for a guy to do, and I think it was kind of cool. He played just about all his big commercial hits right at the beginning. He did Evil Ways, he did Black Magic Woman, Gypsy Queen, and then he did Oye Como Va. Right out of the gate, he hit you with the 3 big hits. They're perfect. He's perfect when he plays those things. It's exactly what you want. It's exactly what you expect. It's exactly what you want. You know, he barely sings. He's mostly the guitar. They got a couple young guys singing. It's a big band. There's probably 11 people on stage. So the sound that comes off the stage is so large and strong and pure. Pure is that word I kept thinking. He is like this pure soul. When he did talk in the microphone, it was all positive energy and peace and love, and that's all he wants in this world. He is a true like hippie peace love music kind of guy, and it's very respectable. It's hard to be like that in this world. There's a lot of shit going on. So after that on the set list, honestly, it was a lot of instrumental stuff, but for some reason it wasn't as bad as the last time. I actually really enjoyed it this time. The last time I saw him, it felt too instrumental. This one, I don't even know. I'm not going to read the set list because no, he did some. So the ones I remember after here was he did the song Put Your Lights On that he did with Everlast. I remember that one because I remember that from the radio. I think he did Corazon Espinado. And I think he did Maria Maria. I think he did he didn't do Game of Love. I'm sorry. Normally these things are set. Nobody posted this. But there were like 3 or 4 songs. Maria Maria is a great song. Put Your Lights On. I really enjoyed that. I looked. He doesn't really play that often. Trying to think. I recognize anything else that he played. No, but there was some instrumental. There were definitely some Spanish songs that people knew that I did not know. So I'm sure they were hits because there were a couple of them that people were singing. But he was great. He was definitely older than the last time I saw him. He had to sit a couple more often than I remember he used to. But man, the guy's got to be 75 years old. I will never fault anybody. It's such a pleasure to see a guy like that still playing. They finished out the show. Then they came back for the encore. They did this. They did Are You Ready? And then he did, I don't remember if it was in the encore. He did the Doors song, Roadhouse Blues. I think that was in the encore. And then he did Smooth. I think I'm missing songs for sure, so I apologize. But that's the gist of what he played. Then he closed out with Smooth, which was probably his biggest commercial hit with Rob Thomas, which is a great, fun radio song. It's a real mix of, he had that moment in the 90s where he released that album where he was partnered up with all these people and they were all hits. He had that moment where, he was big in the 70s and then he had this resurgence in the 90s. And when you go see him, you kind of get that mix of both. That was the vibe I got. You get the older classic Santana and then you get that modern pop hit kind of Santana. And he gives you everything you want. You can't ask for a better show. The crowd was awesome. Like I said, the venue sucks. Everybody was packed in there. But it was a lot of Latinos and a lot of dancing. It's the music that moves you. His music moves you. You just, even if you don't like to dance, you hear his guitar and you hear the rhythms and you just start dancing, and that's the point of it. I mean, I liked it much more. I'll be honest, there was a thought in my head that, look, I've only paid $50. If halfway through I get not bored, but I was just like burnt out because of the instrumental, then I'll just go home. But I kept going because I liked it. I was enjoying it. I really enjoyed it. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give it a 9. Straight up 9 out of 10. It's really good. It's an honor to see that guy. There wasn't anything crazy or unbelievable that happened with the show, but as a feel-good show option in Vegas, I wish he was in a better venue. I think that venue takes away. He can play bigger places for sure, but it seems to work for him, and if that's what's going to keep him going for years and years to come, then stay in that place because, I would go see it again. It's a good show. Highly recommend you go seeing it. Thanks for listening. If you've seen them, leave some comments. Subscribe. Thanks for listening. See you at the next show. Bye-bye.